The Kiriji War, also known as the Ekiti Parapo War, was a pivotal conflict in 19th century Nigeria, primarily fought between the Ibadan Confederacy and a coalition of Ekiti, Ijesha, and other neighboring states in the western region. This war, which took place from 1877 to 1893, was not just a local conflict but a significant part of the wider Yoruba Wars. Background. By the mid-19th century, the Yoruba states in southwestern Nigeria were fragmented and engaged in internal strife. The rise of Ibadan, which emerged as the dominant military power after the Oyo Empire's collapse, contributed to these conflicts. Ibadan, under the leadership of its military chiefs, sought to assert its dominance over neighboring states and expand its influence. This expansionism, however, led to resistance from various city-states, especially the Ekiti region, which had a long history of independence. The Ekiti Parapo was a loose confederation of several Yoruba states, including Ekiti, Ijesha, and others like Oyo and Ijebu, united by their desire to resist Ibadan's hegemony. Their primary grievances included Ibadan's increasing militarization, political interference, and the imposition of economic dominance over them. The course of the war. The war began in 1877 when the Ekiti Parapo, under the leadership of their military commanders, notably the Ijesha and Ekiti leaders, rose up against the Ibadan forces. The conflict was marked by fierce battles and shifting allegiances. Both sides used different military strategies, with Ibadan relying on a highly organized and professional army, while the Ekiti Parapo forces depended on guerrilla tactics and local knowledge of the terrain. One of the most notable features of the war was the use of war camps and fortifications by both sides. The Ekiti Parapo managed to rally several smaller states to their cause, strengthening their position. Ibadan, with its centralized military structure, was able to initially overwhelm some of the smaller factions, but it faced stiff resistance from the coalition. Key battles and turning points. The war was protracted and brutal, with key battles such as the Battle of Egede and the Battle of Ado. In these engagements, the Ekiti Parapo forces, although outnumbered, managed to hold their ground. Ibadan's ability to mobilize large armies was countered by the strategic defensive positions taken by the coalition. The war reached a crucial point in 1886, when the conflict began to attract more external attention, particularly from the British, who had increasing influence in the region. The British sought to mediate the conflict to ensure stability in the region for their colonial interests, but this also complicated the dynamics, as both sides were reluctant to submit to foreign intervention. Conclusion and aftermath. The war eventually ended in 1893 with the signing of the Treaty of Peace at the town of Kiriji, also known as Ijai. The treaty led to a cessation of the war,